This is the B3 bypass installation video. Before beginning, review the items in the B3 bypass box. You should have number 1, B3 bypass breaker. Number 2, 1 split lug cover and 2 split lug tops. Number 3, bag containing hold down kit, several plastic tubes and screws. Number 4, installation instructions. Number 5, B3 bypass compatibility list. Other items needed for the installation include the Q-stripper tool, which is purchased separately, personal protective gear, AC voltmeter, Allen wrenches, and torque driver. Also, ensure your panel board is on the B3 bypass compatibility list, which is included in the box. Make sure that the main breaker feeder wires are 2/0 AWG or smaller. In addition, make sure there is at least 1 inch of unbent feeder wire at the main circuit breaker terminals measured from the breaker insulating the case. Note the Siemens type QN 150 amp plug-in main breakers require 1 5/8 of unbent wire measured from the circuit breaker insulating the case. Using the label located on the side of the B3 bypass, determine the torque that will be needed when you land the 2 or 4 wires that will be connected to the B3 bypass, wires from the new source or loads. Record the appropriate torque value using the above table. Remove the meter from the meter socket. Be sure to cover the exposed meter socket with a non-conductive material so no one gets shocked. Using a voltmeter, test the feeder wires at the main breaker to ensure there is no AC voltage. Ensure that there is a 2-inch available space, 2 1-inch breaker spaces, next to the main breaker, which will be used to install the B3 bypass. Note, if the feeder wires enter the main breaker from the right, as shown in the above picture, then the 2-inch space must be above the main breaker. If they enter from the left, then the 2-inch space must be below the main breaker. Insert the B3 bypass breaker such that the split lug bottoms are under each of the 2 feeder wires. Make insulation stripping guides by marking each feeder wire at the outer edge of the split lug bottoms. Then remove the B3 bypass and set it aside. Position the Q-stripper tool on the feeder wires at the marked position. Be sure to use the correct gauge Q-stripper tool, 1 AWG or 1/0 AWG. Clamp the jaws of the Q-stripper tool firmly around the feeder wire insulation. Jaws should shut together. Then twist the tool about 45 degrees around the wire until you hear the insulation tear. Do not loosen your grip until after you hear the tear. Then remove the tool and the stripped insulation. After removing the wire insulation, reinsert the B3 bypass. Then slide the 2 split lug tops into the mating split lug bases. Center the split lug tops over the stripped feeder wire and lightly tighten the Allen screws enough to hold it in place. Install the hold-down kit by first measuring the distance from the back of the panel enclosure to the bottom of the B3 bypass foot. Cut the hold-down tube to length. If additional length is needed, assemble 2 hold-down tubes together. Then secure the hold-down tube to the bottom of either foot with the included screw. Only 1 hold-down tube is needed when the B3 bypass is installed to a plug-in main breaker. Install the split lug insulated cover over the split lugs. Push down until you hear an audible snap. Torque the split lug Allen head screws to 100 inch-pounds. Insert the new source and/or load wires into either the 2 outside poles or the 2 inside poles of the B3 bypass breaker. Torque the screws to the value you recorded earlier. Then, reinstall the main panel dead front, close the panel cover, and reinstall the meter.
The interconnection experts at QFE are here to help. Just email the photos of the main service panel and you'll receive expert feedback on whether the B3 bypass is appropriate for your job. The 3 photographs required are the close-up of the cable connected to the main circuit breaker, the main service panel label with catalogue number, and the main service panel with the dead front cover removed. Email the photos to support@qfe002.com and we'll get back to you hopefully within a day. Thank you. For additional support, please feel welcome to contact us at 833-232-4325 during normal working hours in Pacific Standard Time. Thank you.